Welcome everybody to our channel Bodhyate. Today we are going to practice some very good questions in C, starting from the very basics to very high level questions. Let's begin. The first, we have created a folder named C questions in our VS Code, and now we are creating a file within it named as question1.c. It's really important to give the .c extension so that the VS Code could understand that the given file is in C. So our very first question is to write a program in C to print the word hello world. So let's start doing it. So we have written our code which was needed to print hello world. Now we are going to run our code in the terminal. So first we are compiling our code. Let's do it again. First we have to save our file by clicking it in Ctrl S, Ctrl plus S. Now we are trying to again compile our code. Now you can see that it has printed hello world. The problem in when I was running the code at first was because I didn't give the file name correctly. That's why my file, the terminal showed that no such file or directly and compilation terminated, because my file name is question1.c and I have just written question.c. That's why my program was showing an error. So let's move on to our second question. So we are first creating a file named question2.c. So our second question is to ask the user to give an input. So let's say that we create a write a code in which the code asks the users about his age and then prints that you are that much years old. So before giving the scanf function that is used to ask the user to give an input, we first need to create a variable, or we first need to declare the variable int age. Since age is a number, so the variable data type is integer, so that's why we have given int. The %d format specifier is used for integers. So you have seen that in scanf function, when I am giving the name of the variable, I am using the ampersand sign. The reason behind using the ampersand sign is that it tells the scanf function the address of the integer age. So now what I am going to do is to compile the file to .c. So first I'm clearing the terminal. To clear the terminal you need to use write the word clear, or you can type ctrl plus L. So let's do it. Oh, so sorry, I have just written question.c. I have to rename that file. Now you can see that my file name is correct. So it asks me a prompt to write my age. So I am currently 19 years old, so I am giving 19. So it printed back that your age is 19 years old. Let's move to question 3. So once again we need to create a file. So our question 3 is to write a code that finds the ASCII value of a character. So what is ASCII value? ASCII value, the ASCII stands for, full form is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Basically, every alphabet that you type has some representation of it in decimal number, and that decimal again has a representation of it in binary that the computer understands. So we need to write a code that basically, in which you give an alphabet and see what the given alphabet stands for which decimal number. So let's begin. So we are creating a variable char. Char stands for character and naming it as A. So let's let the alphabet is C, small c. So we have written our code. Let's compile it. C. So it has printed the word alphabet C again. What was the problem? The problem was lying in the format specifier that I have used. When you are using a character variable char in the format specifier, if you use the %c format specifier, it will print back the alphabet itself. But instead of %c, you use %d, then see what the change happens. I'm once again running my code, compiling, now running the code. So you can see that now it has printed 99. So 99 is the ASCII value of the alphabet C. I can do the reverse also. What I can do is to write an integer, say A, which is 99. Then instead of %d, I am using %c format specifier. Now see what happens. You can clearly see that the integer 99 stands for this small letter C. So this is how you can print the ASCII value of a given alphabet. You have to make sure which format specifier you are using. If you are using %c format specifier, then it will print the alphabet, and if you are using %d format specifier, then it will print the given number that stands for the corresponding alphabet. So now let's move to question 4. So in our question 4, we need to write a code that uses the fgets function. So when is fgets function used and how we use, let's see. So let's write a code that asks the user his name and then prints his name back. Okay. So to ask a user input, we use the scanf function. Let's see what's the problem with scanf function. So before using scanf function, we need to create a variable called a string variable that can store the name. But since C is a non-object oriented language, it cannot store string directly. So what we use is that we use an array, character array that uses a number of characters that can replicate as if it is a string. Okay, so what we do, we create a car name. The name of the character variable is name. Then we give the square brackets. Then mention it memory, how much memory it stores. Like I have mentioned 25, that means it stores 25 bytes of memory. Okay, so we have created the card array. Now in format specifier, we are going to use %s since it is a string, so we are using format s format specifier, and we are giving the name. I'm not using ampersand sign because string does not need to there is no need to give an ampersand sign in the scanf function when we are dealing with strings. So let's run our code. My name is Suraj. Your name is Suraj. It printed back your name is Suraj. What's the problem with scanf function? Let's see. When I write my full name, which contains spaces between it, what it does after the space, it cannot store further, it doesn't take further characters. This is the problem with scanf function. So instead of scanf function, what we are going to use is the fgets function. First I am writing the variable's name, then its memory, then I am including the standard input file. So see, this line of code I have given because when you store say a name which contains like Suraj, Suraj, which contains 5 alphabets, so it should take 5 bytes of memory, but instead of 5 bytes of memory, it takes 6 bytes of memory. The extra byte is for this null terminator, so I want to remove it. That's why I have written this line of code. Now I am running my code once again, and now see what happens. What is the problem? Yeah, when you use fgets function, you need to include one more file, which is string.h. You need to include this file also called string.h. Okay, now see, now there is there any problem or not? Write your name, my full name. I will write my full name. Okay. What's the problem, baby? Your name is. What's the problem? Person is format specifier name character. There shouldn't be any error. Oh yeah, this is the error. This -1 wouldn't be inside the bracket. It will be outside the bracket. -1. Now there shouldn't be any error. Let's run the code again. My full name. See, now it has typed my full name. It has also included the spaces and the full name, what the scanf function was failing to do. Okay, so that's why we use the fgets function. I think there is no problem in it. You have understood it. Okay, let's move to our another question, that is question 5. Let's see. So in this question we need to write a code in C that uses the if statements. What are the if statements? Like if, comma, if else, comma, if else if else. These are some of the if statements. We need to use them. So basically let's write a code that asks the user his age, and depending upon his age it prints what is needed to be printed. So let's begin. So printf write your age. Then we need to declare a variable, age variable. Then we need to give a scanf function that prompts the user to write his age. So we need to use the %d format specifier, comma, then ampersand sign. Since it is an integer, so we need to use the ampersand sign. Then let's give if statement. So in this bracket we need to give the condition for which this if statement works. So let's say if the age is less than 18, this is the condition that we have given. Printf you are a minor. So let's see what happens when we run this code. So no error is there. Now we run this code. So it asks the age. Say my age is 19 years old, so I'm giving 19. So see, since here it is given that if age is less than 18, then you need to print that you are a minor. But since my age is 19, so it doesn't print this statement. Overall, it skips the if statement. If I run this code again, and this time I give my age, say 5 years old, then it prints back that you are a minor. Say now I am adding a else statement. Okay, so else statement, printf else print that you are an adult. Now see what happens. So it asks the age. I give it say 20 years old. Now you can see that if the age is 18, then it prints this part. But when if the age is less greater than 18, then what happens that it skips this portion and prints this portion. Say we add one more statement, else if statement. Else if age is, this operator is called comparing operator, and if only one equal to we give, then it is called assigning operator. Like in when we declare a variable and we give its value, then we use the assigning operator. But when we use to compare values, then we give two equal to signs. So let's say if age equal to 18, then uh, print printf you are an adult, or else print that you are a man. If the age is greater than 18, then it will print you are a man. If age is equal to 18, you are an adult, and if age is less than 18, then you are a minor. Let's run this code. What's the problem? Yeah, I have to give an semicolon. So write your age 12, you are a minor. 18, you are an adult. 90 years old, you are a man. Though 19 years old means you are an old man. Anyways, so you can see that how we have used the if statements. So let's move to our next question. So moving to question 6. So the question 6 says that you need to write a code in C that uses the switch statement instead of using multiple if else statements. Okay, if else if statements. So how does switch statement works? Let's see. Say we need to write a code that based on what grade a student gets prints the respective remark. Okay, so we need to use multiple else if statement, like if else if first say if the student gets a grade A, then print that perfect. Then you use else if he gets B, then you did good. Again you use else if that if he gets C, you did okay. Again else if. So instead of using multiple else if, what we can do is that we can use the switch statement. How do we use switch statement? Let's see. So we start writing our code. So first we need to declare a variable, that is char, which is let's say grade. We declared the variable. Now we need to use the switch statement. So switch between this bracket we need to give the expression. What is the expression here? Expression here is grade. Okay, so see here you can see that they have given constant like that. So constant expression, what is the constant expression here? Say I say I write A. So basically it says that if it is case 1, okay, case 1, that says that if the grade equal to A, then print this part of code. Printf perfect. So after every case statement there is a break statement that says that this part has been over. After that we move to next, that is case. Say case if the grade is equal to B, then printf you did good. Similarly, we can do multiple case and break statements we can use. We need to give a break statement. Control B. Instead of A, now I am giving C. You did okay. If his grade is C, then you did okay. So capital C there would be. Then break statement. Then again, if say grade is D, then you need to print that you failed. And last, this default statements acts as the else statement in if else, like else statement, that when no statements are correct, then else you print this. So in default we can give that printf enter a valid grade. So we have written our code. Let's give return 0 if the code is correct. So clearing the terminal, compiling the code, running the code. So oh, so sorry, I have to give a scanf statement which asks me the grade, which I forgot to give. So %d, sorry, %d no, %c, since it is a character alphabet, so I am giving %c, ampersand, then name of the variable. Now there shouldn't be any problem. Let's see. So it asks me a grade. Before that scanf statement, we can give a printf statement to write, which tells you to write the code, write the grade. So grade, say my grade is A, so it prints perfect. Again I run the code, my grade is B, so you did good. Again I run my code, my grade is C, say, so you did okay. If I give D, it says you failed. And if I say give anything like T, it says the term T is not recognized. So basically it says that if there is no such grade, then you need to print that enter a valid grade. Like I am giving, say, small c. So the command does not run. There's something problem, I think. So basically it will run that your enter a valid grade. It will say that you to enter something valid, that is valid. Okay, there's some problem, I think, in the terminal. So in our previous in this question there was some mistake. I had given a break statement here. That's why my code was not running when I was giving some else a grade like T. It was showing an error. So now if I give any code, any grade that is not valid, like say T, then it will print enter a valid grade. This was the problem. There will be no break statement after this default. Okay, that was the problem. So let's move on to another question. So moving to next question, that is question number 7. C. So here in this question we need to write a code that that sees whether to check whether a alphabet is vowel or not. Okay, so write a code that checks whether an alphabet is vowel or not. So let's here also we need to use the switch statement. It will make our task far much easier instead of using multiple else if. So enter, we need to first give a print statement, printf vowel. Enter a vowel, not enter an alphabet. Now we need to give a car variable, say we name it as alphabet. Now we need to give a scanf function that basically asks you to give that alphabet. So we use %c ampersand sign alphabet. Now we need to use the switch statement. So what's the expression? Expression here is alphabet. So case. Let's say when alphabet is A, then what do you need to code? Printf it the alphabet you entered is a vowel. Okay, what is vowel? You know that A, E, I, O, U, they are called vowels. So what we can do is we can copy it and again control V, control V, control V, control V. Just need to change the values A, E, I, O, U. So A, E, I, O, U. In default statement, what we can give that printf. It says that if the alphabet that you entered is not A, E, I, O, U, then it needs to print that the alphabet you entered is not a vowel. And there would be no break, okay, at the default statement. Then you can give return 0. Let's see, let's run the code now. What's the problem? Switch alphabet. Oh, my alphabet spelling is wrong. Now it's going to be correct. What happened? There would be a, oh yeah, there would be a semicolon here. So you can correct your code by saying what's the error in the terminal. Okay, now there shouldn't be any error. Enter an alphabet. I say A. the alphabet you entered is vowel. Once again say E, the alphabet you entered is vowel. Now say I entered the alphabet T. Now what? So the alphabet you entered is not a vowel. So this is the way you can check whether an alphabet that you entered is a vowel or not. So there is a small modification that we can do in our question number 7 that asks write a code to check whether an alphabet is vowel or not. Let's say when we run this code again and we type capital A, so capital, what the hell, really? Capital A. So it says that the alphabet you entered is not a vowel. Since it doesn't matter whether an alphabet is capital A or small a, if it is A, then it should print that the alphabet is a vowel. So what we can do is that we can include a file called ctype.h. This file contains certain function like two upper function or two lower function. Like I am giving this the name of my variable alphabet, then equal to 2 lower. That means if I even if I type a capital alphabet, it converts it to lower, that is small alphabet. So let's see now. We save the file, control S here. What's the problem? Undeclared, first use the alphabet you entered is a vowel. See, oh, what happened? What's the problem, baby? Break. Oh, printf line 15. Oh, here this mistakenly I typed a digit. Okay, let's run the code again. /p. I am writing capital A. The alphabet you entered is vowel. So by this way, it doesn't matter whether the alphabet you entered is capital A or small a, it will print that the alphabet you entered is a vowel. So what we have done, we have included the file ctype.h and we have convert the alphabet to lower alphabet. That means if I even type a capital alphabet, it turns into small. Okay, so it's really important to know this. So let's move to our next question, that is question number 8. So basically this question says that write a code that reverses the case of a character. So we need to include this file ctype.h. So let's write our code. So first we need to declare a variable and assign it. Let's say we name the variable as say alphabet, and if we assign it, say the alphabet is A. Then we can use the if statement. If is lower alphabet. Else if char alphabet is upper, so we should convert it to lower. Then after else statement we need to give a printf statement which says that reversed case %c/n comma alphabet. Now see whether our code runs or not. So we have written our code, then we need to compile it. We need to run it. So reversed a case. So you can see that since I have given the alphabet capital A, so it has given me back small a. If I change this capital A to small a, then see what happens. So now see, since I have given small a, so it has given me back capital A. So this is what the code looks like to change the case of a character. Now let's move to another question. So let's move to our next question, that is question number 9, which says that write a code that swaps the value of two integers. So let's begin writing our code. So what we have to do is, let's say we declare a value int x that is equal to say 34, int y equal to 45. So we need to write our code such that when we say to print x, it prints 45, and when we say print y, it prints 34. So what we can do is that we can take an int, declare an int temp. Temp stands for temporary. So we declare a temporary variable that is whose data type is an integer. So now what we can do is that we can say that let temp equal to x. Let temp equal to x, then and x equal to y, and say y equal to temp. So what basically we did is that we assume it as three glasses. Okay, one glass is x, one glass is y, and one glass is temp. So the x glass contains 34, y glass contains 45, and the temp glass is empty. So what we do is that we fill the temp glass with the value x. So now the x glass, that is first glass, becomes empty. After that what we do, that we replace x with y. So in the x glass that was empty, we replaced it with the value of y. Now the y glass becomes empty, and the temp glass already contains the value of x. So now what we do is that we fill the y glass with the value that temp contains, that is x. So now when we write printf, let's say %d, since it is an integer, comma x. Y. So let's say x, do it now, and y. We give a new line character /n/n. Now see what happens when we run the code. GCC question 9.c. So you can see that the value of x was 34 and the value of y was 45, but now when we print, the value of x is showing 45 and the value of y is showing 34. So this is a very important way in which you can swap the values of two integers. Let's move to another question. So we are going to do our last question of today's. that is, write a program that asks you to number and print which number is greater. You need to use the global variable. So let's begin. So what is global variable? When we declare a variable inside a function, then it is called local variable, and it is accessible only inside that function only. But if you want to access the variable in any function, then you need to use global variable. And where do you declare global variable? You declare it just below the uh, hashtag include files. Okay, so let's declare int x comma y. So I have declared two variables, one is x and one is y, that are whose data types are integers. So first we need to write a printf statement, write two numbers. Then we need to give a scanf function. And x comma ampersand y. After that we need to use the if statement. So the condition is that if x is less than y, then print f percent d is less than percent d, comma x comma y. Then we can use else statement. First we copy this, Control C. Then else if condition is that if x is greater than y, then printf Control V Control Z. So printf percent d is greater than percent d, comma x comma y. Last we need to give an else statement. So basically if a number can be either greater or smaller than other number, if it is not that, then it will be equal, both the numbers are equal. So at last we need to give a default statement, that is basically printf, right, both the entered numbers are equal. So we have wrote our code. Let's see if it's correct or not. So write two numbers, 23, 34. So you can see 23 is less than 34. So once again we run our code. Now we give 56, 56, both the entered numbers are equal, and say 45 and 56. So 45 is less than 56. So you can see that this is the way that you write a code to see whether which number is greater, equal to, or less than. So this is the end of today's video. So let's all the best everybody. Yeah.